Hello there, Spear Mashers. It is Konisbored here, and welcome back for more of Mod Luxor with me. So today we'll be going on to n.o.d.e, how to make paths, which is pretty much what you guys pretty much all came here for. So we're gonna be making our second path with n.o.d.e this time. This time we're gonna be using the default background provided by n.o.d.e. This background is actually created by one of our moderators by the name of Caffeine. So do thank Caffeine for this background. Credit Caffeine. Anyway, so now we'll be actually making the path. First of all, our first step is to actually name the map. Disable the hotkeys with this H button. By the way, I won't be giving a detailed tutorial on how to use n.o.d.e because in theory you should have version 2.0, but by the time a few months or years down the road, this may not be the final version, so some of these details may be outdated. We'll be naming this my second map, and once we're done naming it, we can re-enable the hotkeys basically. So how does n.o.d.e work? n.o.d.e basically works the same way as earlier on. So like if you want to make a path, you would have to like copy down the coordinates. This would have been my first map from the previous episode. Much faster, huh? You can like basically get it in one click. So now you guys will be following me into tracing the path. Let's start off screen, shall we? So now that we start off screen, let's follow tracing. Basically, whenever you feel that you need to make a coordinate, just click. My personal tip is not too many but not too little vertices. Just enough as you follow the cursor to feel that the spears will turn in that direction. Because again, as I mentioned in the last video, what causes the rolling glitch is that the spears will follow the direction of the previous vertex compared to the next vertex. So for curves, you may want to put a bit more emphasis. Like for example, sharp turns, you may want to emphasize the turn a bit. Yeah, this looks easy, doesn't it? I'll be giving, this is basically just how to make paths. I'll be giving tips on backgrounds and whatever later. One last tip on n.o.d.e. Basically, when it's called the pyramid. So basically, when we actually reach the pyramid, we hit a bit of a dilemma. n.o.d.e is set to auto-detect the last two vertices. But this basically means your second last vertex must be 40 pixels away. So we get the pyramid coordinate first, which is in this case 199. And I highly recommend manually entering it. So basically about like 40 less is basic math 160. Don't forget the decimal don't forget the negative place. And then you basically enter the pyramid place, which is about like plus 40. And lo and behold, we have our map. This is the manual function. Basically, if you don't want to edit automatically, you can enter it manually and just hit the stop key. We also have a random function and whatever. This segment visibility function is for tunnels, and I will not get into that until a lot later. This is again the most basic tutorial, the bare basics. A simple path that has no tunnels. So once we're done with all that, you look at the logger, you think it's fine, you hit this save key, and lo and behold, we have a beautiful save file. So now that all that is said and done, let's head back to data, maps. This time we will copy my first map and paste it in here. We will basically be renaming my first map to my second map. Again, the camel casing is important. S must be cap locks, but nothing else is. So basically now we will, when this is said and done, we will open the path.obj file. Sorry, I haven't got rid of that from the last episode. So hit Ctrl or Command A depending on whether you're on Mac or PC. Copy. And basically just paste it all in here and save the output. What n.o.d.e does is that it remembers your username, it remembers when you generate it, all this sort of fancy stuff like the map name and whatever, which is important. So once that's said and done, we'll head onto the output, the map.ui portion. So since this map has a right hand side pyramid, Yeah, I'm using the default Luxor pyramids because that was the only thing that was available when this program was made. We click the right button, and now we're gonna generate the map.ufr. You guys are actually really lucky. There was an earlier version of n.o.d.e that didn't generate this portion. It only generates the bare minimum possible, which is just the bottom function. So you guys are lucky. You're actually exist in a period of time where this is all generated for you. This is why it's really important to generate the map name. What it does is it generates the map name here, and it auto generated this thing, the camel case file. So basically, you know that the folder must be called my second map. So if it's not called my second map, you better rename it. So what else? It also generates the pyramid coordinates, so that's a plus unless you're using a custom pyramid, in which case you kind of have to do it yourself. So yeah. So basically we'll save it again. And what else? Nothing much else really. We're just gonna close this now. And we're going to copy the background that was made by Caffeine to my second map. Replace it so that it will load my second map background. Next we're going to open this, the background.sprite, and we're going to replace it with my second map and save. Now this is basically how your second map should look like. 4 files. The background file should display this. Background.sprite should display this. Path.object file. Don't worry if your number of vertices isn't the same as mine. It doesn't matter. As long as you sort of follow the tutorial, you should get something really similar. And for your map.uf file, you should have my second map. The map name should be my second map. You should have some sprites loaded here, and the last 2 vertices should be hidden. If all of that is said and done, let's head back to data, levels, 1-1. Instead of loading my first map this time around, let's load my second map and save that one as well. So let's see how you guys did. Can you guys make your very first node path? Let's find out. So let's load my second map. I should make a map called Hello World. That should be fun, huh? And if all is said and done, it should actually follow the vertices, like you said. So hurrah, you guys have made your very first custom Luxor map, since the one from the previous tutorial didn't really count really. How did it feel? Felt refreshing? There's a reason I picked this map to be used in the default program. It's actually relatively easy to trace. Now I understand a few pet peeves, and I'm gonna give a few tips to be used according to n.o.d.e. The reason n.o.d.e was created in the first place was to deal with curves. That was a really nasty problem with the original method, which was really annoying to do. So as you can see, my path is a bit rough around the curves because I didn't add in as many vertices. It's not a 100% perfect path, as in you can be a perfectionist and make it so, but there's always a balance, either too many or too little. If you have too many vertices, you run the risk of the path being jittery. Too little and you run the risk of it being stiff. So, but that should be basically it for today. Next time we'll be going through more and more fancy stuff you can do with n.o.d.e and with path editing. We're not done yet. All of this is just for a simple 1-1 path. We still got many things to do, like tunnels, alpha files, custom stuff, and more importantly, double paths, so on and so forth. We've just basically hit the beginning. Alright, so see you guys next time for more How to Mod Luxor.